Hey guys, welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. My name is Lisa, and I have some really fun, sweet, awesome friends tonight to share with y'all about the health journey. So, summer's here. Well, summer's been here, and we're about halfway through summer, y'all. It's already July. That's crazy. And some of y'all are still eating all the things and still chilling and kind of getting in that summer vibe to where you just wanting to chill and relax from a really crazy 2020 and half of 2021. And but we're here to tell you it's time to start thinking about what we can do to be accountable, to find those things, those tips that we need to really get serious before school starts back for a lot of us. And we have got just the people to help you with that. So I am going to talk to some of my friends, ask them some questions. And my first sweet friend that I'm going to talk to is Melissa. So, Melissa, if you want to unmute, and we are going to chat. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Look at you with your glow. Looks like you've been at the beach. Where have you been,
Maybe.
baby? All right. So, Melissa, I'm just going to ask you a really basic question. This first question is so easy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How did you hear about Plexus? How on earth did you hear about it?
Well, my friends Lindsay, Megan, and Jessica all taught with me at Wilson, so I heard about it through them. And Jessica actually was my intern, so she and I had some of the similar health problems with migraines and being tired and IBS problems and stuff like that. So she reached out to me, and just because of us having similar issues, and that's how I heard about it originally.
So you trusted these friends.
Yes,
Of course,
absolutely.
right?
They were great.
Anything our friends are chatting about, we're like, tell me more about that because I've got to know all the deets about what is going on. So you started the products because you were interested and you started them. So did you fall in love with any of them? Which products can you
Well,
just not do without?
I did. I started them mainly because I had been on a seizure medicine for 10 years for my migraines. Well, the seizure medicine made me tired. It made me, the only good thing about it was that I wasn't, well, it was two good things. I wasn't having headaches, and I could eat almost anything I wanted and not gain weight for the first time in my life. But I had always had to watch what I ate or be on a diet or something my entire life. And so, but then I started kind of losing my memory, and I was so tired. And so I knew I needed to come off the medicine, but then I didn't want my migraines to come back. I was worried about my weight loss. And so that's kind of how I started with the products. I'm not sure that answered your question.
Well, what would be a product since you've been on them for a while, what would be one product that you just can't live without?
My gosh, people ask me that all the time, and they're like, you honestly cannot choose. Okay, you would have to have the triplex. I truly believe that's where I started. That's where my health issues were mainly solved. My reflux, my migraines, and y'all, I used to pass out from the time I was 16 all the way until I started Plexus from my blood pressure dropping. So I know I have to have that. Now I'm in menopause, so I have to have the X Factor Plus. That helps the hot flashes, then the Slim too. I mean, I'm cruising through it without gaining weight, without having any problems. So I know I have to have that. So there's really not one. I love Metaburn. I love collagen. I can't say.
Really, I really don't know which one I would choose either, honestly.
I know.
So I totally get your answers there. So that's good. Okay, so you've been on the products. It's been obviously life altering for you. You have some favorites that you just can't do without. So my next question would be, what would you say to someone who is thinking about trying it, who sees that you're sharing or a friend is sharing? They love you, they trust you, they know you, but they're just still skeptical. What would you say to them?
Well, you don't have anything to lose. I mean, I hate to tell people that they get you do get 60-day money back guarantee or whatever, but I'm like, who would use that? Because if you start on it and you are consistent, and that's the main thing, being consistent, you're going to feel better. So naturally, you're going to want to do more. It helps you, like, helps, I mean, my cravings for sugar, for I quit drinking Diet Coke. I mean, I want to drink more water. I mean, I would tell them to start simple. A lot of times I think simple is better instead of overwhelming themselves with a lot of stuff. And just be consistent. And like, if you could look at where you started, maybe even take notes of how you felt the day that you started it, and then 3 months later go back and look, and it really does. I mean, it may even take more than 3 months, but I can remember my aha was like, oh my gosh, I'm not having reflux anymore. Oh my gosh, I'm hardly having any migraines. Just think little things like that, like, to look back, if you would just give it a chance. I mean, you're not losing anything, and I can't imagine anybody not just feeling, I feel like a different person. I mean, I'm almost 50 and I feel so much better than I did when I was 30. So that's a huge thing, to feel so good and have the energy to do all the things and not be tired too. So, I don't know.
You probably wouldn't want to go back to the way things were.
Oh, if I had no money, and I have several friends that say this, if I lost everything that I have, some way I would have to find the way to pay for my Plexus products, because I truly, truly, truly cannot go back. Well, I also was taking 3 prescription medications when I started, and I don't take any now. So it's worth the money for that reason alone, not having to go to the doctor all the time and pay money for prescriptions.
I mean, that's really crazy that you've come off 3 prescriptions. I mean, that's
Mhm.
amazing. I know
It
some
has
people,
been.
I know patients that are just, they're on a ton of prescriptions and they think this is just the way that it is. This is just the way that my cards have been dealt and they just have to live with it. And so I love hearing that you've been able to come off prescriptions. That's really great. So, uh, 2 more questions. So what would you, I know you talked about your reflux and, as far as come off prescription meds, but did you lose weight on Plexus?
Well, the weight thing was, and I honestly have, and a lot of people will say to me, I don't think you ever had a weight problem. And I've got to get out some pictures and post them one day. I have always had a weight problem. I did lose weight when I was on the seizure medicine. That was the only time that I've ever been thin in my life. But at the same time, and I always say this, my mom would say, Melissa, you are not healthy. You are not healthy. And I wasn't. I felt terrible. But I was thin. So there is a true truth meaning of skinny is not healthy. I did not lose weight. I have maintained my same weight once I started on the products. I've lost a little bit here and there when we do the challenges, and I get real serious about, watching what I'm doing and all that. Then I'll lose a few pounds. And so, but I weigh exactly the same today as I weighed 5 years ago when I came off of the medicine, through using the products. And I do exercise, but I have the energy to exercise and I want to exercise. And I don't have to do a diet. Like, I do not, I do the intermittent fasting when we do it with the groups. I love that. It's fun. It makes you, I mean, you think you can't feel any better, but then you do that and you even like, wow, this is great. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying that it's a weight loss journey for me, but it has been maintaining, and especially going through menopause. I mean, I think everybody I know gains 10 pounds or more. And I haven't gained any, and it's been easy to keep it off.
And
You're
who knows, dealing with menopause, who knows where you would be had you not
right.
started these
Right.
products.
Yeah.
So that's really great. Okay, last question. Do your family take the products?
Oh yeah.
And how has it blessed your family by taking these products?
Well, my oldest is at Auburn, and he had severe anxiety, and it has helped him with that. He does the Vitabiome, the probiotic, and all that. My little one is ADHD, and he stopped taking his meds and is using that for that. My husband, we all do probiotics, it's not even just I even have a 96-year-old grandmother that started on the Probio 5 and BioCleanse, and it helped her from the problems that she was having. So it has, my parents take it, everybody has, really and truly. I have, it's just been so life-changing for me that most people that are close to me really have wanted to do it because they see the benefits it's done have been for me.
I love that. And I love that your journey doesn't focus just on weight loss, which a lot of people think that it is just a weight loss company. So I love that you've had life altering results, which, for some people, losing that weight is going to lead to life altering results. But for you, you've been able to maintain, and you've had the energy to maintain with the exercise and getting good sleep and things like that. So that's really
Oh,
great.
yeah.
So I love your story. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
All right. So my next sweet friend is Tina Marie, and I love her story, you guys. Y'all are going to love her story as well. So Tina Marie, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me tonight.
Absolutely. So Tina Marie, first of all, how did you hear about Plexus? How on earth was it introduced to you?
Yeah, so Julia Carty, she was my babysitter, her and her older sister when we were younger, when we first moved to America. And I'm this little like half English, half German speaking kid that's running around, braiding their hair, like all the things. And so we'd been friends, right? And so I'd seen her posting about this cute little pink drink. And I say that with like, I mean, it was so annoying to me. Like, I didn't want any of it because at this point I was over 400 pounds and I had tried everything. I mean, like, you name it. Oh, my lights turned out. Sorry, y'all, I'm in my car. Um, you name it, I tried it. I had the shirt. I still probably had part of the diet stuff left over in my house. Like, and there was no way that this cute little pink drink was going to do anything for me. I was just super annoyed by it. And so I blocked her. And yeah, so that was fun. So then about 8 months later, I saw some other people posting about it on Facebook and was like, oh my gosh. And so I went back and I went to her page and I was like, wait, what? First of all, she was still doing it. And that was a huge thing for me. Like, so often you'll see people will start stuff, stop stuff, start stuff, stop stuff. And that's not anything I wanted to be a part of. And I saw she was still doing it consistent. And so she was actually at the beach on a retreat, something that she had won. And I sent her a message and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Just let me try it. You said something about a money back guarantee. She's like, oh yeah, great. I'll call you Monday when I get back and we'll get started. And 2 hours later, I was on her website and signed up. Like it just made sense to me to just try it because at this point, again, I tried everything and I was so unhealthy, like on my insides. I had no like crazy major outside issues, like doctors, like there wasn't anything like wrong with me other than I was just very overweight and on the verge of lots of issues. And I had a lot of internal things going on. But that's how I got started. I just pulled the plug 5 years ago and jumped right in after 8 months of blocking her and being annoyed.
And I love a good critic. They make the best testimony. So I actually love that about your story. It makes it more real.
Yeah.
Okay, so what products did you start out with that gave you those results in the beginning? What were the products that you started off with?
So I started with the triplex. Honestly, it was all I could afford. And I really couldn't even afford that. I sold items from our house on Facebook garage sale to pay for my first month because being the sole provider of my family, my husband has a brain injury and he's disabled. And so I make the money and there wasn't $100 that I could justify towards myself on something that I truly did not believe was going to work. 100% knew it was not going to work. I really wanted to just try it to show that it wasn't going to work, right? Like because nothing else had worked. And I sold items to pay for it. And that was that. But it was the triplex. So our slim, our probiotic, and our bio cleanse. And I'd had my gallbladder removed, I guess 11 years ago now. And I have not been right since then. You can probably guess. Like there was, I mean, you talk about IBS, like you didn't know half a day to the other part of the day what was going to be happening to you. And basically the doctors had told me that that's just what it was. And I was going to have to deal with that. And I'm like, well, I was better off when I still had it and was sick because it made me worse getting it removed. And I know that a lot of that, my poor gut health, is what contributed to me not being able to lose any of the weight. And it didn't matter what I was doing. It was just coming on. So yes, triplex is what I started with. And within a month I'd seen differences. It was crazy.
Wow. I think that's probably what most people start with is a triplex. I know that's what I started with. It's probably our most popular combo for lots of reasons. And one of those is one of the reasons that you talked about is it just addresses so many of the main issues that we have, gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation and systemic inflammation, that sometimes we don't even realize it's not just an external thing, it's internal as well. So that's a very popular combo. So what are you taking now? So you started with a triplex. Have you added anything else to your product regimen?
Yeah, so I do a lot of our products now because honestly, they fit in my budget and in my lifestyle, and I don't want to go a day without them. I use our Active every day. It's our super clean energy drink that's so yummy, and y'all, Starfruit Guava is my jam, and I'm so happy that it's back for good. Talk about a happy girl over here. My lights are getting darker again. And then I use Balance and or Block because this girl right here has a very bad problem with food. Just gonna be straight up honest. I am a chronic binge eater. Me and food have lots of issues. I have lots of issues with food, and I'm well aware of that. And if it wasn't for my Slim Hunger Control, I couldn't make it throughout the day. Seriously. I take our vitamin because it's the only vitamin I've ever been able to take that doesn't make me sick or upset to my stomach, especially post gallbladder removal. I use our skincare products, which don't break me out. I have very sensitive skin, and even this year, through all the masks and everything, like my skin has stayed fairly clear and clean and happy and healthy because your microbiome on your skin, people don't even realize how much that affects things. I use our collagen because I have lost a lot of weight as we're talking about weight. So I've fluctuated a ton throughout the last several years and just my whole life. At the most that I've lost through Plexus was 180 pounds. And then pandemic, and I went from being active to not being active and being on my butt sewing all day. And I gained a lot of weight last year, but that's okay because I stayed healthy and my body was still happy, if that makes sense. Like I didn't have all the issues that I had when I was heavier to begin with. So I'm still down over 140 pounds total, thanks to Plexus, which is just so amazing. And I just feel like a whole new person. It's crazy. You were asking me about products though. Sorry, y'all. I now use our Hydrate because I have a very bad problem with hydration, which is so good. I mix it just with all my other stuff. Working all day, it's so hard to get your water in. It's so hard. So this is such a great way to help keep you hydrated. I think that's all I use. I use our protein shakes too. They're so good. They mix up so great in my blend jet. I think that was.
I know it's probably easier to ask what do we not take than what do we take. I think a lot.
I don't take Nerve.
Yeah.
I think that's probably about it.
Okay, so you've had an amazing journey, and you have not only with the weight loss, but that's a huge body transformation outside and inside. So at any point did you ever feel like giving up, that it wasn't happening fast enough? And if you did, what helped push you through?
Yeah. So about 3 years ago, I got in a really dark place. And I'm probably gonna cry, y'all. Sorry. So I miscarried, and it was so bad. And we kept it so quiet, and it was really hard for me. And honestly, that made it harder. So it is what it is at this point. But I really tried to keep a good face because I've always been that person. Like people look at me and they're like rainbows and sunshine, and I'm always the silver lining, and I'm always smiling and happy. But it's hard when your body's going through all of this, and just mentally and physically and everything. And I gained some weight after that, and then I sat there and was feeling sorry for myself, and started working other jobs to just try to do everything because I just didn't know what to do with myself, if that makes sense. And I was working myself to the bone. It was ridiculous. And I remember talking to Julia one night in December, I guess it was 3 years ago now. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm barely taking my products, still halfway taking them, putting on a good front, had lost pretty much everybody that I'd helped because stopped checking in on them, stopped talking to people, like was just doing the bare minimum. And I was like, I have gold in my pocket. Like I'm sitting on this and not using it to its fullest. And it's a blessing that's been given to me and I'm squandering it. And like, it was such like a hard realization. And I was like, okay, I'm game. Like, let's do this because I'm ready to take back control of my life. And, I don't really know if this answered your question, but it was very hard to not give up that year. That year was really, really hard. And just with my husband and all, he's got a brain injury. Like I said, he was in the hospital for almost 5 years. Oh my gosh, when was this? 2004 was his wreck. So he got out of the hospital in 2009. And the products just have blessed him so much too. He was on 12 medications when we met. He's on 4 now. I mean, that says it all right there. His doctors, his neurosurgeons, everybody loves these products. They 100% want him to take them. Part of his medical actually covers some of it, which is amazing. Like they don't want him to go the day without it. And I don't either. And honestly, if I'd never lost any of the weight, my female issues had not been resolved, my migraines had not gone away, my restless legs still were restless, keeping me up all night. The changes that have happened in him have been worth everything. I don't know if that answered what you're asking me, but yeah.
It did. Absolutely. It
Okay.
did. You know how you push through because you have gold. I mean, you came to a place. I mean, I think that, even though Plexus is wonderful and the company is wonderful, and these products are wonderful, life happens and life is hard. And you have to come to a place, I think. And I think that a lot of people, I mean, different circumstances, but I think that the core is the same where we say, I'm done. My life's too hard. I can't do this. I can't do this. You have to just compartmentalize to be able just to get through the day. But you realize, wow, you came to a place that you have something so great. Why wouldn't you utilize what you've been offered? And I think that that's a great point that a lot of people have come to, in their lives as well. And I'm so thankful that you were vulnerable enough to share your story. Got me teared up too. Of course, I'll cry. I'm a crier, but I think that that's really great that you're able to say, okay, this is what's happened. This is where I am. This is where I can go. And you push through. And Melissa, I feel the same way, about you and so many people, but although Tina Marie, I love that you were able to take those things that have happened in your life and you were able to turn them around and use them for good to be able to bless others. And it sounds like a Hallmark card, but it's true. And I know that you have, and I know that you have really impacted so many people because you didn't sit in your sorrow and your grief, and you were able to come to a place eventually that you were able to turn around and share with others. So one more question for you, Tina Marie, if that's okay. What has been your biggest surprise with Plexus so far?
Yeah, honestly, it's the community. This community is everything. It makes me want to cry just because I have made the most amazing friends all over the country. It's crazy to me. Some of them I met for the first time 2 weeks ago at the beach at convention. But I feel so close to these ladies and gentlemen because we talk on the daily, and we share so much life together, even if we're not in each other's presence. Because of how Plexus has brought us together, we're in each other's presence. And that's been the biggest blessing. And I never thought I'd have so many amazing friends that I don't ever hang out with. It's just, if you need a community and you need friends, you need to be here. There's room at our table. We got you.
There is. That's so true. I've never been in a sorority in college, but I can only imagine how great it would be because Plexus has just been, to me, the sorority I never had, minus, I'm sure, all the police raids and stuff. or actually a safe sorority if you will need a sorority for a good one. So thank you both for sharing so much. Now, Tina Marie, if you don't mind letting everyone know about the fun things that are coming up next week that they can be a part of.
Yes. So Sunday, we are starting our 30-day Power Partner Accountability Challenge. And so when you make a goal, right, you are fairly likely to hit that goal when you set it. Now, if you have an accountability partner, it's 95% more likely that you are going to reach that goal. That's what this whole challenge is about. It is finding a person that's going to do this with you, because let me just tell you, when you've got someone who's like, hey girl, did you drink your water today? Hey, did you take your supplements? Have you drank your Slim? It's a lot easier and less easy to be like, I'm just not going to do it today, because you've got those people in your corner. So there's going to be lots of fun prizes, right? There's no buy-in. We just want you to have some products, be doing this thing, because part of my top 7 tips, which I'll go over in just a second, you have to supplement. Our nutrients are not there in our soil anymore. You just got to. It's how it is. But this challenge is going to be amazing. After this call, I'll drop the link to the group in the comments on the Facebook Live. So this is also in Healthy Starts Here for anybody who's watching this stream somewhere else or just the recording on Zoom. Because we want you there. It's going to be so much fun. You'll hear from me every day, so you'll get to see me and a couple of other leaders on our team. So we want you there.
Awesome. All right. So if you want to share those 7 tips so people can be empowered with what they need to know for next week, I'd love you to share.
Yeah. So these are my top 7. Water. You have to drink water. Like it's just, it doesn't matter if you say you don't like water. You've got to learn to like water. Your body needs it. Sorry, guys. It's just is what it is. Drink your water. Number 2, don't let hunger deter you from success. If you have bad things in your house to eat, make sure you have some good stuff to eat, because you're going to be hungry. And when you go over there to get something to eat, look at your choices. And if you can't make a good choice, it's going to be very hard to make good choices, right? Number 3, focus on healthy behaviors, not just the scale. Being somebody who's been on a massive weight loss journey that's gone up and down and all around, all the things, it's so hard to not get focused on the scale. But that scale is a liar. It doesn't know what it's weighing. It's just weighing mass, right? So it doesn't know that you drank 2 gallons of water today and you've got extra water weight. Have you ever picked up a gallon of water? Do you know how heavy that is? Okay. It doesn't know that, you're starting building muscle. Like, don't 100% focus on the scale. It's one tool in your tool belt to measure yourself. Photos and measurements are my go-to. Get you a pair of goal pants. Like, I've got a gold dress right now. If you want to see it on my Facebook, go look. It's blue. I was super vulnerable this morning and posted myself in it with no Spanx on. Okay. Like, find you a way to measure your progress that's not just the scale, because I weighed 2 pounds heavier yesterday than I did today. Like, you don't know. And then tomorrow I could be up 3. Like, it's just your body. Take an average, do what you got to do, but have multiple ways to measure. Number 4, accountability partner. Oh my gosh, you've got to have one. You can try to do this on your own. It's going to be super tough. You can do it. More power to you. But find you a person. Life is so much more fun with people. Exercise. Probably my least favorite thing. I'm super sore. I bought myself a weighted smart hula hoop. I don't know if you've seen them on TikTok. I'll post a video, but oh my gosh, find something to do. Go for a walk, take your dogs out, go play with your kids, go do something, but intentionally move your body. If you have a smartwatch, if you've got some way to track, close your rings, set realistic goals, move your body. Sleep. I'm the worst. You've got to sleep. Your body has to sleep and reset. You have to sleep. Find you some type of schedule. If your schedule doesn't work, going to bed at 9 p.m., 10 a.m., 11 p.m., whatever it is, find you a system, make it work, but get some sleep. And supplements. Your gut has to be healthy. Y'all, I've tried everything. And if your gut's not healthy, your body's not going to be in a state where it can lose the weight. If you need to gain weight, if your gut's not healthy, you're not going to gain the weight either. Like, you've got to get your gut healthy. And I've never found products that work like these. And I've tried everything. I've tried all the probiotics. I've tried everything. You can actually tell if you don't take your products. That's how you know they work. Like I had a girl last week, she was like, I ran out of stuff for 4 days. I can never let that happen again because she felt so much better because these products work. So that was a little long. I could type it up somewhere. That's my top 7. I think everybody needs those 7 in their life. So you'll hear more about them next week. Join our group.
That's awesome. Those are just words to live by for any season in anybody's life. So I love those tips. Thank you so much. Melissa and Tina Marie, thank y'all so much for coming on tonight for our Wellness Wednesday. I don't know why I do this every time I say that on Wednesday nights. Just comes out. But thank y'all for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. Share this with your friends. People need to know what you know now. So let's share the hope and the happiness with others. And it all starts with your health. So love y'all. Get in the accountability group. If you have any questions, message one of us or the person that invited you to this, and we will see you back next Wednesday night. Y'all have a good week. Bye.